Hello, my name is Sheila Walsh and I'm a personal development coach for life, business and relationships. This is a really quick video to talk about fear and the importance of fear. I hear a lot of people talking about trying to get rid of fear, overcoming fear, battling fear, instead of actually learning to live with fear. So fear has two pieces. There's one, the primary piece, which is fear keeps you alive. It stops you running in front of the bus, it stops you jumping off the cliff, for instance. Fear stops you doing things that are dangerous, that could hold you back. Then there's the type of fear that is irrational. It's the type of fear that, although you feel it in your body and it's very real, its danger isn't life-threatening. For instance, a spider. It's not life-threatening, but you may feel it like it's life-threatening, but the reality is it's probably not. Well, it depends on spiders, doesn't it? But I guess it's important to know that fear isn't something we need to battle with. And what I find is a lot of people who are trying to overcome fear are actually focused on the problem first of all. They're focused on trying to change something that is very natural to them, that is part of their instinctive way of staying alive. And whenever we try and do that, we're trying to deny a part of ourselves, we're trying to control a part of ourselves instead of working with it. Now, I love Elizabeth Gilbert. She wrote Eat, Pray, Love, and she wrote a book about creativity, and a piece that she talks about is fear. And she says that fear can be in her life, it's welcome, but it doesn't get to drive the car anymore. It doesn't even get to use the radio station. And sometimes she doesn't even let it sit in the front seat. And that's how I like to look at fear. When we are fearful of something, some part of us feels threatened. And I believe it's much more helpful to investigate and understand what part of us feels threatened, and to use that kind of experience as a way to understand ourselves, rather than trying to fix it or push through it or fight it. Because often what we're doing is we're fighting something really important, really instinctive. So if you find that fear of being seen is holding you back in business, or fear of getting hurt is holding you back in relationships, or fear of looking stupid is stopping you from speaking up, what I would do is look at why that piece feels that way. Why for you that's scary? Because for others it's not. So what is it for you that has that makes that scary? And then starting to understand what's going on underneath the fear. And then what I like to do is come in and actually mind that part of ourselves. So obviously a part of us is threatened when we're fearful of stepping out in front of people, or when we're fearful of making a fool of ourselves, or we're fearful of being hurt. There's a part of us that more than likely has been hurt somewhere before, and it feels threatened when we're doing this new thing. So instead of trying to fight with fear, I think work with fear, look at what's going on underneath, and actually come in and do your best to mind it and to support it, so that you can move forward with fear. And I hear people say all the time, oh, but sure, like, you're not frightened of speaking in public, for instance, and they'll be trying to learn to speak in public. And I'll say, well, I was sometimes, and sometimes I still am. And it's that I don't fight that fear. I see that fear is giving me information about myself and what's okay for me, and what feels threatening. And I usually use it as an invitation to understand myself better, and to get closer to the fear, and to get closer to where it's actually coming from. And instead of trying to obliterate it or get rid of it, I actually try to work with it. And I find that I put more energy into the solution than if I focus on getting rid of the fear, which often puts more energy into the fear. And when something's that instinctive, that fear has kept us alive from caveman days, I don't think your amount of energy going into trying to get rid of it is very effective. It's part of how we're still alive. Your ancestors used fear, and then that's how they procreated and continued, and that's how you got here. So if fear wasn't part of our journey, we wouldn't survive, we wouldn't be able to be here. So when fear comes in, honor it. Just don't let it drive the car. And I think that's the best thing you can do with fear. If you want to know more about the kind of work I do, you can pop in the links below, pop over to my website, sheilawalsh.com, and I'd love to have a chat going. There's some Facebook pages and things that I'm on, and some live videos I do. But it's really important. Fear is part of our journey. Don't try and get rid of it. Actually work with it, and it will use less energy. You'll be more focused on the solution, and the odds go up for you actually getting what you want, because you're using your energy wisely. I hope that was helpful. I hope to see you somewhere else soon. Take care. Bye-bye.